Hello, beautiful people. I pray everyone is doing amazing today. I'm popping on here because today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and it's so important that we have these tough conversations, and it's so important that we do our part to support one another in saving one another's lives. And many of us don't talk about this, especially in the Black community. We don't talk about suicide. We don't talk about mental health. We don't talk about the things that lead to many of our loved ones committing suicide. And we darn sure don't talk about it if we have ever tried to commit suicide. Well, I have tried to commit suicide. I tried to commit suicide one time, and it was during my marriage to my children's husband. I was tired. I was literally at a place where I was just tired of dealing with the abuse. I was tired of the hurt. I've never shared this. I don't even think my kids know what happened. But they will now if they're looking at this or if they look at it. I came to my senses really quickly, but not everyone does, because I definitely did not want to die, but I honestly did not know how to stop the abuse, how to stop the pain, how to stop the hurt, because I'd done everything that I knew to do other than leaving him, which was the only thing that I could do. But I was trying to stay in the marriage because I did not want my children to not have a father. And I know there are many women who are living in situations such as mine, especially when you grew up without a parent, without your father, like I did. And I did not want my kids to have that pain. But in order to save my life, I had to make that decision. And thank God that I did make the decision to, one, not go through with the suicide. I was rushed to the hospital. My stomach was pumped. And I'm here to tell the story. Now, that's been over 3 decades. And again, I have never told this, and I'm publicly sharing this because I hope that my sharing will save somebody's life. If one person's life is saved because I am being vulnerable and transparent in sharing this story today, then my experience, I won't say it was worth it, but sharing is worth it. Let me just go over some statistics. The World Health Organization shares that over 700,000 people commit suicide a year. 700,000 people. And I'm going to break that down because they're not just people. There's someone's son, there's someone's daughter, there's someone's sibling, possibly, there's someone's grandchild, there's someone's mother, father, friend, sister, whatever. They're not just people. They mean something to someone. The part that is heartbreaking is that some of the reasons why they commit suicide is because they do not feel seen. They do not feel heard. I was reading where one mother lost her 15-year-old daughter, and she did everything she could to help her daughter. She not only tried to help her handle her course load in school, she tried to help by taking her to the doctor, taking her to see mental health counselors and so forth, and therapists. And one of the things that the mental health people kept telling her, and she's a Black girl, and I wonder sometimes if the racial bias showed up in her situation, because they kept telling her, you know how girls are. You know how girls are. If you are a therapist, if you are a coach, or if you are in any of the professions that are supposed to help us get through situations, please, please do not say that. That is not helpful. Do your job. Do the work of digging deeper than saying, you know how girls are. Yes, at 15, this young lady was more than likely dealing with hormonal changes. But if they had dug just a little bit harder, they would have found out that she had been bullied. They would have found out that because she was so smart, she was being bullied. And Black women are not supposed to be intelligent, according to society, in some ways. Her intelligence was the reason why she was being bullied, because she was considered a nerd, because she was considered a geek, because she was considered a bookworm. She didn't know how to cope with that. And even with all the love and support that her mother was giving her, she was still a child who was having to learn how to circumvent things that us as adults sometimes cannot, and have a hard time circumventing and maneuvering through. So I'm sharing my story because I work with women who are dealing with some of the hardest things to deal with. Whether it's childhood trauma, whether it's something from generational trauma, whether it is from a relationship, whether it's the bullying from being a child. And that bullying doesn't just mean at school and with friends. Bullying can come from within our family, whether it is relationship trauma, whether they are dealing with domestic violence. And let me just be clear, domestic violence isn't simply someone hitting you. Domestic violence can be what they are saying to you or what they are not saying to you. Domestic abuse can be financial abuse. It can be emotional abuse. It could be sexual abuse. Because just because I'm married to you does not give you the right to my body. My body is a gift to you when I decide to give it to you. Let's be clear on that. No matter what this world is trying to do in Arkansas and Texas and other places, my body, no woman's body is another person's property, no matter if we are married. Sexual relations are a gift to the both of us, but I digress. Again, today is World Suicide Prevention, but this is also National Suicide Prevention Month. Let's take this a step further and not let just this be something that we do on a monthly basis. Let's do this on a daily basis, because every day somebody's life is at stake. And let's not talk about postpartum depression. Well, let's talk about it rather. Let's talk about that. Many of us deal with postpartum depression. We are all living through this pandemic, something that we've never lived through before. And the statistics show that many Black, African American people, whichever you choose to be named as, during this pandemic, there were more suicides of Black and African American people. We need to start reaching out to one another, checking on one another. And checking on someone is not just simply, I'm not even going to tell you how to check on someone. Just check on someone. Reaching out and saying, how you doing? Is there anything you need? How can I help you? Haven't heard from you. Just want to let you know that I am thinking of you. I'm here for you. There are many ways that we can do it. We can text, we can call, we can email, we can jump on FaceTime, we can jump on live, we can jump on Messenger. Many, many, many ways that we can do it. Just do it. All right. If there weren't warning signs also, when someone becomes very withdrawn, when someone, their way of being changes drastically, they become hopeless. They said there's no reason to live. Look for the warning signs. They sleep a lot. They go within. There are many warning signs. Google, stop. Hey, Google, stop. Many, many warning signs.
All right, welcome back. We had a good break. So we're...
Sorry, I'm in a class, but I'm going to jump back on in just a second. Many, many warning signs. But I want to give you some information also. If you or you know someone who may be demonstrating some suicidal tendencies, or you are contemplating suicide, please call this 24/7 hotline. The number is 800-273-8255. And that's if you're in US. I'm not sure if that number is for Canada, but if you're in US, and it's 24/7. Okay. If you are Spanish speaking, the number to call this hotline, it's 888-628-9454. Also, I think there is a, you can also text a certain number. Let me give you that also. You can also text in the US or in Canada 741-741 to receive help. And that is the crisis text line. If you're in the UK, you can text 85258. That is 85258. If you're in Ireland, you can text 50808. Again, text 50808. And I'm going to give the 800 number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline for the US again. And that number is 800-273-8255. Thank you so much, Plant Mama, the Plant Mama, for putting that in there. I'm going to pin that. If you are a member of the LGBTQ community, you can call the Suicide Prevention and Counseling Service that is specifically for the LGBTQ community, called TrevorLifeline. And that number is 866-488-7386. Again, that number is 866-488-7386. Suicide is real, and the numbers are going up higher and higher and higher. We are our sister and our brother's keepers. Let's demonstrate that, not just today, but every day. Let's save somebody's life together. All right. And please share this. Again, if my story saves someone's life, and I didn't get into details because you don't need details, you just need to know I'm here. If it saves someone's life, then my sharing, my testimony of survival is worth it. All right. I've got to get back to my class, but I love you all. And again, share, share, share. I love you. Talk to you later.